Hi guys, I know it's been forever since I posted any videos on YouTube, and most of it, if not all of the content, was primarily around photography and whatnot. But I've just arrived in Istanbul and I'm getting a hair transplant. It's been a long time coming and I've put it off for so long because the expense, the fact that it's surgery, and trying to convince myself that my hair wasn't getting any worse. I knew it was thinning and receding, but eventually reality hit home. And a couple of things kind of triggered this trip. I've just arrived tonight. I'm in the Radisson in Istanbul, and it's a fabulous hotel, but a couple of things have kind of not forced me to go down the route of a hair transplant, but have kind of stacked up over time, and eventually I've came to this decision. Firstly, I've been thinning and receding since, well, probably about 15, 16, 17 years, something like that. I used to have really thick hair, and I still remember going to the barbers and them using thinning scissors because my hair was so thick. And then eventually it just started to recede. You can see each corner is pretty bad and the top is quite thin. And I do my best to try and disguise it and hide it. But like all guys who've got thin and receding hair, you try lots of different things to try and make it look better, when in reality it just doesn't look great. So yeah, the fact that I was getting worse, my hair was also starting to feel quite weak and thin, and it wasn't styling properly. And I've only just come to realise why that is, but I'll talk about that in a second. And one of the main drivers, I think, for getting this now, along with the fact that it's getting worse, is my partner kind of ended our relationship after quite a long time, just before Christmas, and that affected me confidence, it still is. It still is. Whew. Yeah, it does make you question. I've been teary all day. Oh. So yeah, it affected and still is affecting my confidence. And when anything like that happens, you look for reasons. You look for reasons why. Can't even get through the video. So yeah, it affects your confidence, and you look for reasons why that relationship ended, and you know, that's one of the drivers. So I booked up with a company who I will kind of leave a further review on after I've had the surgery and see how it goes. I've got real trust in them. I've kind of spoke with other guys who've had transplants with them in the UK and here in Turkey, and they're thrilled with the results. They wish they'd done it sooner. So that's why I decided to go with this company, as well as the affordability of coming over to Turkey. It was a bit cheaper than the UK. Again, send a message, a comment if you wanted specific prices and whatnot of what I had to pay. It could well be different for yourself, but the reason I contacted that company was because other people on Instagram, on social media, who were from the UK and who I could chat with, had a really good experience with them and with this surgeon and hospital. So those are the reasons. I did get a bit emotional during that, but I've been like that all day. It's just the hype of it and the eventual possibility that this might now be resolved, that this might now be fixed. Something that's bothered me for 15 years or so. So yeah, it does make, well, it's made me emotional, definitely, and you know, I just want the surgery out the way. I want the recovery period, and I know it's going to take up to a year, if not a little bit longer, but you know, I've waited this long, I might as well wait a little bit longer and hopefully get the results that I want from the hair transplant. Now, to cut a long story short, when I first noticed my hair starting to thin and recede, I started to take, well, I've started off with the weak stuff, which is the kind of caffeine shampoos and stuff like that, when my hair wasn't that bad. And this was, you know, many moons ago. And then after that, I tried minoxidil, which was the kind of topical solution, which I really didn't like, because once you applied it, it made your hair really greasy and it didn't style right, and I didn't give it enough time. And then I tried, probably about 8 years ago, finasteride, and in the UK back then it had to be done by private prescription, and I tried it for, I would say probably a bit longer, probably 6 to 9 months, and then I was kind of out of work for a little bit, so I had to stop because I couldn't afford it. But when I was taking finasteride, which was 1 tablet once a day, over time, my hair did change. It seemed stronger. It started to regrow slightly here. And the hair seemed, well, it wasn't getting any worse, put it that way. But I definitely noticed good results with finasteride in that short period of time. A lot of people that you'll see on here will say, oh, I'm not touching that medication because of the side effects, the effects on your libido and sex drive and stuff like that. When I first tried finasteride, my sex drive just kind of fell off a cliff. It vanished for, I don't know, maybe a month. I wouldn't say any more than that. And then it came back. It came back to normal. When I booked up, when I spoke and had my consultation with this company who I'm getting the hair transplant with, one of the first questions that asked was if I've tried anything like that, which I gave them the story, and they asked if I was still on it, and they were shocked that I wasn't still on it, and their strong advice was to get on minoxidil and finasteride ASAP to preserve what I've got left, to try and hopefully make it stronger, perhaps even regrow, maybe, who knows, but certainly to try and keep what I've got, to preserve what I've got left. And if I did go ahead with the surgery, again, to protect protect that so it didn't look unusual where I had loads of hair there and nothing behind it. So I took their advice and started taking finasteride 1 milligram once a day. And I also found out through a surgeon from the States, Gary, I hate getting people's names wrong, Linkov. I've been watching his videos and I only found out through him that you can get a tablet form of minoxidil, which I've got here in the UK. So I've been taking that as well, 2.5 milligram once a day. So I've got the double whammy, the whole shebang, in tablet form, and I've been taking them now for about 4 or 5 weeks. So I'm not expecting to see any results from that for a good number of months, but you know, it's a long journey. So yeah, surgery day tomorrow, 9 o'clock. It's a long day, a long surgery. I'm going for I've been advised to go for the FUE procedure. They take lots of kind of hair from the back inside of your head in the protected zone and make little holes all the way along where they think your hairline should go and where you're thinning, to close up hopefully these bits here, and they plant them in here, literally plant them in there, and yeah, it's going to look pretty rough for a little while. I've done all my research online. I know what to expect. I know how long I need to kind of wait for the grafts to root, as I like to call it, and how to try and protect them in the early days so they don't get damaged or rejected, I suppose. So yeah, I am a little nervous, emotional, definitely, but I am excited for it. I am excited, and I can't wait for it to be over, so I can get myself way back to the UK and see how it goes in the next 10 days initially, and then I think little bits start to drop out, which is normal, and then it starts to regrow 3, 4, 5, 6 months onwards, up to 12 to 14 months. So yeah, now's the right time for it to do it, and hopefully it goes okay. I shall let you know. Thanks guys.